Not too long ago, I think a couple days ago, a young brother named Bakari Henderson, 22-year-old recent graduate from the University of Arizona, was murdered in Greece. He was a tourist, went to Greece. I don't know all the details of what happened or what led up to him being murdered, but he was beaten to death by 10 people in front of a bar. My condolences to his family. I hope that he gets the justice, his family gets the justice and the outcome that they want and deserve. The individuals involved in his murder, they're all locked up for eternity, for the rest of their lives. But per the black travel sphere, and I have a passport in Stockholm Syndrome travel sphere, whose Facebook groups that I am a part of, they want you to treat this as a one-off, as an isolated incident, along with the racism that they complain about when they travel to Europe. They want you to treat those incidents as one-off, as isolated incidents. Don't be too cautious or over-concerned when going to Europe. Still be a radical traveler and go to Europe, even though you complain about the racism and now the murder of Brother Bakari. All in the name of getting your passport stamped. Be a radical and vigilant. Do not allow these racists in Europe to stop you from getting your passport stamped in Europe. Do not allow the murder of Brother Bakari in Greece, keep you from traveling to Greece, because how dare you stereotype Europe? How dare you? Per the Stockholm Syndrome and I'm black with a passport collective. How dare you stereotype Europe, even though we complain about the racism we face on a daily basis in Europe when we travel and with Brother Bakari. We will still march like King did over in Selma. We will still march from freaking Amsterdam to Paris in the name of I'm black and I'm going to fight racism in Europe, because I just want to travel so bad. I'm that desperate to travel in Europe and get my passport stamped and prove a point that we're going to be radical and vigilant when traveling, and we're still going to continue to travel to Europe, and we're not going to allow these instances of racism and murder to stop us. And how dare you stereotype Europe because of this? Don't be overcautious. Don't be over-concerned. They're all just isolated incidents. Same Facebook group. Brother asked, I'm going to Senegal and Tanzania. Do I need to get vaccines? All you need is your yellow fever vaccine. Any other vaccine or pill is a waste of money. Trust me. Do not waste your money on all these other vaccines and pills. But per the Stockholm Syndrome, over paranoid, black with a passport collective, if you do not take your malaria pills, there's a possibility that you will die. There is a strong chance that you will die of malaria and be shipped from Tanzania back to America in a body bag. I'm not making this up. So a girl in the group posted that her friend died of malaria traveling to a specific country, a certain country in Africa, and she died because she didn't take malaria pills. When there's no proof that malaria pills are 100% effective in keeping you and preventing malaria. So instead of the don't stereotype Africa, this is just a one-off. This is just an isolated incident. You better be overcautious and concerned. You better take as many pills and vaccines as possible when traveling to any sub-Saharan country in Africa, because you could possibly die and be sent home in a body bag. So you better take your pills. You better take them, because you could die if you don't take them. You will die if you don't take the malaria pills. You will die. Do not fly. Do not even think about getting on that plane to Africa without taking your malaria pills, because you will die. But for some reason, when it comes to the racism in Europe, traveling to Europe, Bakari getting murdered, don't stereotype, don't be overcautious, don't be overly concerned. It's all just one-off incidents. They're all just isolated incidents. Don't be afraid. Be vigilant and get your passport stamped by as many European countries as possible. But when it comes to Africa, you better be cautious. You better be paranoid. If you don't take your malaria pills, you could die. Damn, don't risk it. You're risking your life by traveling to Africa without malaria pills. But you're not risking your life by traveling to Europe, because the racism, the murder of Bakari are all just isolated incidents. But the one person that died of malaria that happened to be a tourist, if you don't take your malaria pills, you can die, because it's Africa. So that's what we're dealing with here. You're supposed to be overcautious and over paranoid and concerned when you go to Africa. But when you go to Europe, it's okay. They're just all isolated incidents. I mean, there's no racism. I mean, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I mean, they're still beautiful countries. You know, Greece is beautiful. Don't risk it. I mean, you're not risking anything. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But when you go to Africa, if you don't take your malaria pills, you will die of malaria. This is the dusty logic of black people with passports and a strong case of Stockholm Syndrome. That's what this is. So don't be overly cautious going to Europe, even though you complain over and over about the racism, and now you have Brother Bakari who died. How dare you stereotype Greece, or even make the assumption, or even how can you even sway people to not go to Europe because of the racism and the murder of Brother Bakari? How dare you try to sway people and convince people not to go? How dare you? Shame on you. But damn it, you telling people they don't need malaria pills, because if they do not take the malaria pills before they go to Africa, they will die. How dare you tell people not to be safe? That is what is wrong with you. I can't believe you're spreading this ignorance by telling people that you don't need malaria pills, because if you don't take your malaria pills, you'll go to Zanzibar and you will be shipped back in a body bag from Zanzibar to the United States of America. This is the dusty logic of many in the black travel sphere with passports and Stockholm Syndrome. Once again, all you need is the yellow fever shot to travel within sub-Saharan African countries, or in African countries in general. You don't need no damn malaria pills. You don't need all these damn vaccines and pills. You don't need them. Another thing too, the same people that would tell you that you need all these damn vaccines, all these damn pills when going to Africa, are the same people that would tell you not to vaccinate your kids because they might come down with autism or cerebral palsy. They're the same people that will tell you not to take a flu shot because some lady took a flu shot and she became ill. But when it comes to Africa, you better take all the shots and all the pills, because if you don't, you will die in Africa and be shipped back in a body bag. That's what we're dealing with here. So again, stop listening to the bullshit. Get as many stamps on your passport in countries in Africa. Being radical when traveling to Europe, you get no brownie points. No one cares. And I promise you, all you need is a yellow fever vaccine when going to Africa. That's all you need. Until I get all 54 countries stamped on my passport, I'm not going anywhere else. But people try to act and pretend like traveling to Europe is radical. You know, I'm going to be Rosa Parks, and I'm going to fight the racism and prove a point by traveling throughout Europe and get all my passports and get my passport stamped as many times as possible in Europe just to prove a point that I overcame the racism in Europe. I overcame it. You are a civil rights passport. You're a civil rights activist, travel activist. You are a civil rights travel activist in Europe. That's what we got. We got a bunch of civil rights travel activists. Just to prove a point. You want to waste your hard-earned money just to prove a point when you can just travel to Africa and not deal with any of that. Follow me on social media. Search for Who on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Go to www.dynastywear.com. Check out our indigenous African art, jewelry, fashion, and accessories. Go to searchforwho.com to learn more information on the documentaries we're shooting. Last but not least, go to amazon.com. Search your name, Dynasty Amir. Buy a book. I've written several of them, so please support and buy one. Okay, you get no brownie points for being a civil rights international traveler. No one cares. Okay, no one cares that you fought the racism that black travelers get in freaking Greece. No one cares that you went head to head with the racists in Greece. No one cares. But for some odd reason, you will battle and be vigilant and be radical to prove a point that you could travel throughout Europe and overcome the racism by traveling through Europe. But damn it, you are scared shitless to travel to Africa without your malaria pills. I need answers. Somebody give me some answers in the comment section. Dynasty Amir, the Kapitan Don. Till next time, I'm out.